Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rissa, aka Rissa Explains It All, where I go over business, manifesting, and side hustles. And today we are going to be going over my first cash envelope stuffing of 2023. I'm bringing it back. I'm so excited because I used to love doing this on my channel. And so we are bringing it back, guys, okay? So if you guys are not familiar with what this is, basically I'm going to break down my paycheck with you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and stuff some envelopes. The cash envelope system is basically like a savings system, so you know where every dollar from your paycheck or your pay is going, and it's just a really good organized way to keep your money and to keep your finances in line. Excuse these goofy blue light glasses, but I thought it was fitting because we're going to be like doing like finance stuff. So that is the plan for today, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and get into my paycheck budgeting. Before we start though, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you guys did not see my socials at the beginning, then go ahead and follow me on Rissa Explains It All on all platforms. Okay guys, and also one other thing, I do get paid weekly. However, just to make it more interesting, I went ahead and I'm combining my income. So I'm going to do this every 2 weeks, because if I do it weekly, there's just not enough going on in 1 week. So I just combined 2 weeks of pay. So that is what that's going to be. And you're also going to see some of my business income as well. Alrighty guys, so excuse this is my little arm right here where I film the aerial view, I guess. But we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the month, which is January. And before we start, this is just a chase pen because I know some people get stuck on the details of the pen. And I don't have any fun pen today, guys. It's just a chase pen, but it's fun enough. Paycheck date. We'll just put 1/14, I believe it was. I could be wrong, but I can't look at my phone. 23. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start with paycheck number 1. Now I'm gonna put 2 amounts here because I got paid technically 2 times, once a week, and then I also got paid extra because the company that I'm working for right now pays for internet and phone, and they actually owed me back pay on that, so that is why you're going to see this extra money here. So 1,334. It used to be more, but because of what's it called, health insurance, now my pay has gone down a little bit weekly, so yay, we love that. Not at all. Okay, and then $310 for my cable and my internet, and this is over a span of a few months. It's just I did not submit my expense report to them, so that is where this is coming from. And then we have paycheck number 2. Now paycheck number 2 is going to consist of my weekly side hustles. So I aim for $300 to $400 a week. Sometimes I make more. In this case, it was around the $850 range. So we're gonna go ahead and add those 3 totals up. Unfortunately, I do not have my phone right now because I'm using it to film, but I'm gonna use this calculator, and it's about to die, so that's great. Okay, so we have 1334 plus 310 plus 850. 2494. $2,494. Now I also do sell these budgeting sheets on my website on Etsy. You download them and print them, and you can also budget the same way that I'm budgeting. So there's that. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and I'm not going to put my date down, but I'm going to go ahead and list my bills here. So the first bill is car number 1. And the amount, I pay weekly, however, because this is a bi-weekly paycheck video, I'm going to post the bi-weekly amount, $70. So I pay $34 a week on this particular car. Car number 2 is $164. and I pay roughly about $82 or something like that a week on that one. Now, also something you guys should know is that I'm trying to get rid of both of these cars. However, because the car market is kind of weird right now, they're not offering the same amount that they were offering a few months ago. And I'm not going to take a less amount on the car when I know that, you know, things aren't correct in the car world right now. So eventually these two cars will be gone. I don't really owe much more on either of them, to be honest. So that's the goal, is to get rid of them before we move, because I don't want to drive them to wherever we're moving to. Next is insurance. Insurance, I pay $50 a week, so $100 every 2 weeks. And that is for both cars. And then the next one is not so much a bill, I guess, but it is something that I contribute to every week. And it is very important to me because I would like to retire one day in my life. So I do contribute to my Roth IRA, and I contribute $50 a week. So that makes it $100 every 2 weeks. And I will up that contribution once I probably get rid of my cars, once we move, my rent is lowered and things like that. It's just right now, that's what I contribute, and I still think $200 a month is decent as far as I'm concerned. And then at the end of the year, whatever the difference may be, I may just transfer that over, because I believe it's $6,500 now, or $7,000 a year you can contribute to. That's like the max. So that may be something I do. I'm just not sure yet. Moving on, I do also have an Acorns account, which is also an investing account. I don't actually contribute that much to it. So I only contribute $10 a week, which is $20 every 2 weeks, but also compound interest. It's just another thing that I'm investing into and throwing money into, so that's something that I'm not personally spending. So then what we're gonna do is go ahead and calculate all of these amounts up, which I have already done, but I just want to make sure that I have the right amounts. So we'll take 70 plus 164 plus 100 plus 100 plus 20. So that's 454. Oh, I forgot one big piece of this. Totally forgot. Let's not forget about this. Rent. Nasty, nasty rent. Which, I shouldn't say that. I'm very grateful to have a roof over my head and be able to pay this rent, but it's very expensive. So for my rent, it is $275 a week. So $550 every 2 weeks. So I almost forgot about that. We can go ahead and add $550 to the 454. And that brings us to $1,004. So these are my expenses for the first 2 weeks of the month usually. And I don't really know if they change for the next two. So we'll have to see on the next paycheck video. But okay, so what we're gonna do is take this amount here, 2494 minus 1,004. And that brings us with a leftover amount of 1,490. And then what I do is just take this amount here and drag it here, so we know how much we have to put in our envelopes. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really fell off the envelope train because I was just kind of, I don't know, I just fell off, okay? So I don't really have too many envelopes or sinking funds, but I will go ahead and let you guys know what we're putting into envelopes for this year. So for the first one, I do have a fun envelope. This is just for me. I don't really go out and do much, to be honest, so this is just gonna be for me when we do decide to do stuff. And I'm putting in $30 a week or $60 every 2 weeks. The next one, which this is like a very important one, I think everyone should do this. And if you have a bigger family or kids, you should just try to contribute as much as you can to this, because when it hits October, November, you'll be thanking yourself. So we have the Christmas sinking fund, and I put in $25 a week or $50 every 2 weeks. That brings you to $1,100 by the time you hit November. So it just takes off the stress of Christmas shopping and finding that extra Christmas money. You already have it in this envelope, so try not to touch this envelope all year long, and then you'll be very, very happy. All right, so next, moving on. We're gonna add those two amounts up, which I've already done. It is $110, and then we're gonna subtract $14.90 from $110, which should give us $1,380. We just double check. So then I'm gonna go ahead and take my 1,380 and I'm gonna put it up here. 1,380. So now for my sinking funds, this is also known as like a savings fund account, I guess you can say. Which I just noticed, which I'll change on the next one, but I just noticed I put a few here in sinking funds, what I should have put in envelopes, but it's okay. So we're gonna start with the first one. It is a birthday. And I'm putting in $25 a week, so $50 every 2 weeks. This is not necessarily birthday money for myself. It's just for any birthdays that do come up. And then I have some cash to either buy a gift or send cash. So that's kind of what my thought process is behind this fund. And then the next one, this is where I should have put it in envelopes, but I forgot, is gas. I'm allocating myself $40 a week, so $80 every 2 weeks. However, I am keeping this money in the bank because it's just easier for me with this to keep it in the bank, because when I do use gas, it's usually when I'm doing my side hustle work, and I don't like to bring anything with me, so I try to keep the card digitally now, since someone did steal my card and was running it up, and that's it. So I'm keeping that on the card, and that's how it works for me. Next one is also something that should have went into the envelope category, is groceries. Now this is a small budget, but I'm gonna tell you now that he'll buy groceries some days and then I'm buying groceries some days, so we kind of do it like that. It's not really like this is the only grocery money that we're using. So groceries is $60 a week, $120 every 2 weeks. You know, we may have to adjust that soon, because sometimes, not sometimes, it's because the groceries are very expensive these days. So we may adjust that. If I need to pull from my savings, which you guys will see here in a second, then I will pull. But for the most part, that's where we're at with groceries. And also, I have already used my groceries fund, so we won't be pulling money for that. And it's also probably going to stay in my bank. I'm undecided yet, so the next video we'll see if I pull out money or just keep it in my bank, because I'm usually shopping for groceries weekly instead of every 2 weeks. That's just what I prefer to do, so it might just stay in the bank. All right, so the next and last one is other. I'm not gonna lie, when I was writing out my budget, I had a plan for other, and I completely don't know what the plan was. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in the envelope, and if we ever need extra cash, we have it there sitting. But other is $40, so it's $20 a week. And then we're gonna go ahead and calculate these up, which I already did, and it should be 290. If it's not, I will correct it on the screen, but I'm pretty positive it's 290 because we have 160. So then we're taking 1380 minus 290. And that is 1,090. Perfect timing, my iPad just died. $1,090. So this is for anything extra, 1,090. And I am sending this full amount into my savings / tax, which will bring me to a 0 budget. And so here's why I'm doing that, is because we're trying to build up our savings for future endeavors, i.e. buying a house, i.e. moving, just, you know, all the things. And so all of that is going to my savings, and also the $850 is side hustle money, which is $10.99, so it does get taxed. So a portion of this will also be in there and stay in there for taxes. I know some people will probably say I should open up a separate account for taxes, which I may do, and just send that money over to that account. But also my theory is if I have it in my savings and it's there, I can just take it from my savings and pay my taxes anyway. So it's like the same difference, but we shall see. So that is my paycheck breakdown for my first paycheck of January. Now we're gonna get into the fun stuff, which is stuffing the envelopes, which honestly, it's not that many envelopes. So let's just get into it. I have other, Christmas, birthday, and fun might not be under fun. Other, okay, oh, okay, other, Christmas, and I'm gonna put fun and spending, and then I have birthday. So 4 envelopes. Here is the cash. Let's go ahead and organize it. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Chase, you don't have to even go to the teller now. Sorry, my computer. You don't even have to go to the teller anymore. You can literally go to the kiosk and choose your denominations. However, I don't know what it is, but they don't like $10 bills. So that's why I have a whole bunch of $5 bills. So I believe I took out $200. I also really like this method because half the time I forget that I put money in my envelopes, except for the ones that I need to use, you know? And then I'll just check sometimes, you're like, oh, I forgot I have $1,000 in my envelopes. So that's also really exciting. If that's something that happens to you, you guys just put money places and you're like, oh, I forgot I put it there. That also is though, because I don't spend a lot of money and I've been very cautious about my spending and things like that, so that helps. Okay, if you hear that noise, that is a dog. I don't know what's going on out there. So we'll go ahead and start with other since it's right here. So other is getting 40, which I know I don't have an extra 20 for this. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I may exchange these now that I realized I took out the wrong denominations for this one in particular, but also I got these off of Etsy, these little cute clear thingies. And then I got this little thing, binder off of Amazon, I believe. So there we go. We have other has the 40 in it. Christmas is getting 50, so 20, 40, and 50. I want the 20s to be in the front. They look cuter. Christmas spending is for me, and that is getting 60. And I'm gonna do 20, 40, 50, and 60. I bet you guys that I don't even use this. So we'll come back in 2 weeks and this will still be here. I'll be very surprised if I do use it. And then for birthday is 25 or 50 actually. 20, 40, and boom, 50. Yes. So that is how you put in your cash envelopes, and then you just store this away. Don't touch it unless you need it. So that is pretty much how I do my budgeting and cash envelopes, guys. If you do have any other questions, I can go into more details about it or whatever you guys may need. I do have a little bit of debt, but I'm gonna tell you this debt is like strictly consumer debt, and it's something like I can pay off right now. And then I also, for me, I don't consider cars debts because cars are too expensive these days. It's not something that you can go, well, let me rephrase this. You can buy cars in cash, yes, absolutely. But if you want to get a newer quality car, they usually are running like anywhere from 35 to 40 grand these days. And so that is why I personally do not consider a car a debt, because they have gotten extremely expensive. In the same sense, you can go buy a $10,000 beater car or whatever, but then you run the risk of, is this car going to give out on me in, you know, 6 months to a year or whatever it may be. So that's why I don't have that in a debt column. I don't know if I will include the consumer debt on here yet, because it's not really that much. It does include my student loan, and obviously we don't know what's going on with student loans, so that's why I don't know if I want to include it on here just yet until we figure out what's going on with that. I know there's like not a lot of faith that it's going to pass, but if it did get passed, then I wouldn't have any student loan debt. So I don't know. I'll see if I add it in the future or what's going on, but for now, this is kind of my breakdown on what I have and how I do my budgeting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a little different pace than side gig work, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.